Moving on to another location. The next application is that of Think Big Theater Arts, 42 South Ocean Avenue. Seeks permission to open a children's theater. Applicant is also proposing interior alterations. Subject premises are located in the D3 business zone. Good evening. Good evening. And I should mention for the record that we have met with the applicants at public work sessions to discuss this project, which I believe is at the former Brand Vacuum Store. See, you've got the mailing certificates to Ms. Julio.
Yes.
So please introduce yourself for the record and tell us all about what you're hoping to do.
Hey, I'm John Bogack, with Architect, Wading River, New York.
Heather Ferguson, 612 Lewis Drive, Medford, New York.
Sean Ferguson, Medford, New York.
Good evening, folks. So tell us all about what you're hoping to do here.
Sure, so we are an arts and education company. We work in the schools and in the community, taking whatever the students are learning in their curriculum and bringing it to life through the performing arts. So we're looking, we've been a satellite company since 1996, which means we've been on the road. And we're looking to establish some roots in Patchogue. And so we've been using the space as a training space for children from ages birth up to probably about 13, and then that would be our acting classes and our community programs. And then we'd also be working with adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and early onset Alzheimer's to be doing art programs during the day so that they have peer groups that are the same age as them. And we'd be working with local artists who would be running those workshops. And then on weekends we would be doing small workshops for families to participate in arts activities together.
So this is an enterprise you guys have been involved with for quite some time, but this would be your first sort of physical
Location.
home base.
Yes, we've been in the New York Children's Theater Festival. We've been in other theater companies on Long Island producing our works, so this would be our first home base.
Are you a BOCES organization?
We are, yes.
So you get that money?
I try. It's very saturated. Yes, we do a lot of grant writing. We do a lot of partnerships with the school districts and with community organizations as well.
So would you be basically holding scheduled classes throughout the day and evening?
Yeah, so Tuesday through Thursday would be our after-school programs, and then when Patchogue Medford School District is on breaks, we'll be doing mini camps from about like 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock in the afternoon, where kids can take classes in puppetry or filmmaking or musical theater or playwriting. And then we're also going to be working with the Patchogue Medford School District in the next year to do a playwriting competition for elementary and middle school students, where one child from each school would win by writing a 10-minute play, which our artists would then produce and perform for them. And then the student would be invited to come in and direct and give us notes on what we did with their script and how they would have done it differently. I'm sorry?
How about Child's Play Plus?
Exactly.
What kind of staffing do you anticipate?
Right now, a lot of our artists are contracted artists.
Okay.
Right now, it's pretty much me and my husband as we get it up off the ground. And then traditionally, it's one teaching artist teaching the class based on the ratio of students. And then we employ, like, our daughter's 13. She has to do community service for school for the Honor Society. So we bring those students in to be teachers' assistants.
Is there any way to even, cite particular hours of operation, or it varies?
Mostly 4 o'clock in the afternoon to about 7:30 at night, Tuesday through Thursday, and then Fridays we may have a family workshop that goes to about 8 o'clock at night, and then Saturdays would probably be about 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then when you have seasonal type shows or seasonal type workshops, it'll probably go to about 8 o'clock at night.
During school breaks, you like full day programs or 1.5 hour blocks?
1.5 hour blocks to 3 hour blocks, depending on the attention span of the kids.
Well, those of us that are familiar with the old Brand Vacuum, which provided a nice service to residents of the community, but this was a little sort of a rough and ready place. They've been there for years. What kind of work needs to be done to the interior to get this ready to go?
For the most part, as you see on the plans, we're going to be fully enclosing the existing stairs that lead down to the basement with the door. And the existing bathrooms that are there, it's very difficult to conform them into handicap accessible bathrooms. So we will be putting in a family assisted bathroom.
Completely new.
Completely new, so.
And then that basement won't be utilized for any programs, it'll be our storage for birthday party supplies and,
Okay, so cold storage only.
Yep.
There's no alterations to the outside of the building. We're going to keep the display windows that are there, utilize them as well.
Display windows, absolutely.
The doorway that leads to the back parking lot of the west rear of the building will be made as a handicap accessible entrance as well to utilize the parking that's back there. The front door is also 36 inches wide, but there will be staff there to help people, you know, if need be. But we'll try to accommodate that as much as possible in the front.
Those two front entrances?
There's two front entrances and two in the rear. We'll probably, during operation, leave the one door locked and not have an exit sign there, using just the one front door for some control. And then the two rear exit doors will be operable at all times.
The two doors is existing on the front.
Yes.
This is a prime example of a previously commercial space that, you know, most of the foot traffic was from the rear, but certainly plenty of means of ingress and egress on this site.
Food for parties, are you gonna have that brought in?
no food. No food, you basically get a teaching artist that'll do a workshop, and we'll recommend eateries in the area, and we'll partner with the local eateries to maybe help provide discounts, but, no.
So you're not gonna cake it or,
First of all, I love this concept. I think it's great. I'd love seeing something a little bit different coming into, not Main Street, but South Ocean. But this is fantastic. Do you have any plans to ever put in stage or elevated platforms at all?
Not at this
So any
time.
performance would be flat?
Yeah, a lot, there's no fixed seating in the space, because a lot of our audiences are age 2 through 4. It's more of a play area, and it's very interactive performances. So for an example of one of our shows is the Traveling Trunk Show. It basically is me with a trunk of different artifacts that I found from different cultures, and I use a folk or fairy tale to tell that story. And the students may play the musical instruments as we're making the rain in the rainforest or something like that. So they're right at my feet.
And then nothing hanging from the ceiling, no swings, no nothing like that, right?
No. Our lighting would be the only, just like a truss.
Anyone else have any questions on this? Fairly straightforward. Again, we did meet with the applicants to go over this.
When do you plan on opening?
Sure. According to greaterpatchogue.com, they just did an article on it. We would like to begin programming in April, would be because that's when our first break for Patchogue Metro School District is. I would love to have the doors open in March, to have an open house, to be meeting with families and kind of do intakes on kids if any child has special needs that we need to help accommodate. We can meet with the families before the kids actually come in and we start doing programming in April. It also depends on what we unearth when we pull up carpet.
No carpeting.
You would think.
Anyone else have any questions for the applicants at this time? Seeing none. Anyone in the audience like to speak or has any questions either in favor of or opposed to this application? This would be a good time to come forward. Seeing nobody, I would entertain a motion for the board on this one.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the application as presented, subject to ARB.
Motion made, any second? Motion made and seconded, any discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Any opposed? So carried. Welcome to Patchogue and best of luck. We look forward to seeing you guys up and running.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.